Hi, we're Team Garnet. My name is Mira Cox, alongside with my teammates Carolina Turner, Ian Lecker, and Jarrett Spronsky. Over the past several months, we've worked together to design an educational task management app specifically designed for college students called EdTek.
Hi, I'm Jarrett with Team Garnet, and today I will be presenting the problem which EdTech is trying to solve. In campuses across the nation, tens and thousands of students are facing the same problem. Whether it's a new student trying to get used to their new life at campus and away from home, a student struggling and needing to improve their grades, or an experienced student trying to better their already good habits, all students face the challenge of staying organized. The various syllabi, assignments, quizzes, and exams can be tricky for students to remember. Classes can be tough to keep up on, as well as due to the ever changing environments of college campuses. The various activities, clubs, and extracurricular activities can serve as a distraction to students needing to focus on their academics. Due to these distractions, there are many points where students can slip up. One small fault over missed info can snowball into a monumental issue, leading to grades slipping and, in the worst case, failing. Many students have different reasonings for trying to be better organized, whether it be for their aspirations for graduate programs, to be able to capitalize on their free time, or even just to improve their mental well being. But there is yet to be an app developed to help students achieve this. With EdTech, we aim to finally solve this issue and allow students to be more in control of their academics.
Hello, my name is Carolina Turner, and I just wanted to um, just kind of inform you about our app and how it actually creates a solution to all of the problems that Jarrett previously described. But we designed EdTech to act as a resource and an organizational tool to provide support to students who want to achieve their academic goals. And our app does that by allowing users to create tasks and assignments and assign priorities, due dates, and classes to those assignments so that they can filter out and sort which assignments they would like to prioritize so that they can meet their academic goals. EdTech does allow users to track their grades so that they have a better understanding of where they sit at in that class. EdTech allows users to track their assignment progress so that they understand their workload and how much more assignments they need to complete in order to finish their work and meet those academic goals. It allows users to upload syllabus information. It allows users to customize their courses and add different details so that they can stay organized, including what grade policy that course has, the meeting times for that course. It allows users to mark their tasks as complete so that they understand what else they need to work on. And it just it helps students stay organized and prioritize which things they need to get done so that they are able to perform their best within their courses and just achieve all of their academic goals.
Now, let's show you how it works. Imagine you're John, a busy college student, a freshman trying to get his bearings. In high school, your teachers, your parents, your friends, everyone helped you stay on track. But now you're alone. You've realized that college is a lot. You have a lot of assignments, you have homework, things you need to keep track of. So you found our app, EdTech. And here's how you're going to stay organized. You, of course, have the option to register, which will allow you to enter your name, your email, what year you are, and a password. But if you already have an account like John, go ahead and log in. Here is your main page. This will show you all of your upcoming assignments, as well as allow you to mark assignments completed. Here's your profile. It's going to ask you if you want EdTech to send you notifications, and you do. You need to be reminded of what's going on. That's the whole point of the app. It's going to say your name, your email, your year, and it's going to let you edit. So John got a little excited and thought he was a sophomore when he made his account, but really he's a freshman. You can have notifications weekly, or maybe you need them every day. And then there are your courses, and of course, you can add more if maybe you wanted to take a nice, easy gym class. It's going to go ahead and say you added it. Perfect. And then you're going to want to save your changes. If you come over to course info, here are your courses, nice and colorized so you can easily tell which ones are which, and it's going to give you a little bit of the syllabus, who the instructor is, when you have class, and where your class is. So it's easy to find all in one place. Here's your new course. You can go ahead and enter all that information and anything else you might want to know, as well as going ahead and picking a color. Then you can come on over to your dashboard, and if you needed to add a new homework assignment like yoga for your PE class, and that's due tomorrow. Then maybe that's really high priority, and you want to set a reminder so you don't forget about it. So tomorrow at 10:15 a.m., you're going to get a reminder to do your yoga. We can also go ahead and delete assignments, like maybe you actually don't need to do these practice problems, so you can delete them and they'll be removed. You also can mark assignments completed, like maybe you finished your psych quiz early and you got 100. That'll move it down here to your completed assignments. You can also come over here to your to-do page to see what you have going on, and you can go ahead and sort this in various ways, such as by priority, so you can see what's most important at the top, so you get to it first. Or maybe you need to focus on one of your classes more than others. This lets you go ahead and see how much homework you have in each class. Or maybe due date's the only thing important to you, and you want to get whatever's due first done first. Finally, you can see your grades. That way you know how you're doing in all your classes in one nice place. And you can change them based on what's going on in each one of your classes, because each professor grades a little differently. This app's designed to help John stay on track. Now, he's not missing his homework, he's not missing quizzes, and he's on top of things. He knows where his grades stand, so he can reach out to professors if he needs help, and he stopped going to the wrong room because all of his class locations are in one place.
Hello, my name is Ian Lecker, and I'll be talking about our tech deep dive and our tech stack. At the core of our project is a multi-purpose framework called Expo, which itself builds upon React Native, a component-centric JavaScript framework that aims to build truly native apps, not simply React web views on mobile. It's the workhorse of our project and has a robust CLI that allows us to run our application on a development server and across multiple emulators. It'll also provides a file-based routing system, which is really crucial for mobile application. And for most of our backend and server-side functionality, we use Firebase to quickly implement crucial and common functionality, the first of which is authentication. It's a cloud service that handles user login, re-implemented logging in through email and password, as well as Google. It also serves a couple of other logins, but those are the two that we decided to use for our project. It's also really important that we use Expo because we need to create our own development client to pass the OAuth, consent screen processes, which have certain levels of security that they need to meet to use Google sign-in. And it also allows us to kind of standardize this login, sign up, log out flow. Makes it really easy and prevents us from actually having to run any authentication checks locally or in-app. And then on the backend side, it also just issues a JavaScript JWT token, I should say, per the user, and it securely identifies users across the Firestore database. And it also allows us to merge users if they would sign up for email and password, and then also sign in through Google. Another very useful feature and something that we get because we're using Firebase. We also use it for its cloud Firestore, which is very similar to MongoDB. It's a NoSQL cloud database for mobile and web apps, and it helps us to store our assignment data, course data, as well as personal details about the user. It also has real-time synchronization with listeners like on snapshot or the get docs, get doc method, which is really important because when you commit or update an assignment, you want that change to be reflected immediately, especially if you're logging on another device. And then it uses something called collections, in which you have collections of documents, which are unique, basically packets of data, and that all have fields. And this allows us to not ignore any SQL rules or logic and just get solely into implementing a fix. And it worked really well for us because we have assignments which in reality are just, they have a due date, they have, a point value, a grade, and those are all just subfields of something bigger. Even the assignments are subfields of the class or the course itself. Moving on to testing, we have Playwright, which is what we use for our end-to-end testing. It's a browser automation tool. It's similar to Selenium, and it can run full UI end-to-end tests, which is really helpful for us. But it's also lightweight. It's not like Redux or Detox, I should say, that is a little bit more heavy. It just allows us to simulate clicks, simulate entering fields, and really streamlines this process. It can launch a headless browser or a full browser to simulate and view the user interactions. Allows us to test logging in, creating, editing, deleting data, entering text fields. And then it also allows us to have pretty standard assertions to, mark a test as this needs to be correct or it'll fail. And then specifically regarding React Native, it works directly via our already Expo web development client, which is really helpful. It allows us to address issues on the fly when we're creating these tests, and really allows us to focus on reducing bugs and minimizing bugs before we even have to create an APK. And when we use our unit tests, we simply just use npm test for the small parts of the functions or certain hooks or like use effects hooks or small components. Just easy to run npm test as it doesn't really have to be the whole click simulation. And we use Jest as the test runner, which is pretty common, the standard practice. And then the React Native just testing utilities. And then one important thing that we had to do is we had to mock our Firebase data a little bit, but for the most part, we were able to kind of move past that and focus on the functions themselves. And then for our build service, we used the EAS or Expo Application Service, which is Expo's Cloud CI/CD to build our app binaries and our APK, both are for development purposes and the full production build. And it builds on remote servers, so we didn't really have to worry about hardware concerns. We just had to sit in a queue for a little bit and let it go and take care of it. It also has multiple build profiles, so at points we used two different development build profiles. By the end, we've reduced it to one build profile and also a production build profile. That was really helpful. And it prevented us from having to set up and manage multiple builds, hard coded or just with Gradle, which can be somewhat of an issue. And then finally, for our emulator, we simply used Android Studio, which is the official IDE and device emulator for Android development. Very streamlined, very easy to kind of integrate with the rest of everything. And we were able to kind of just load up the APK and get right to developing. That's our entire tech stack. It's relatively simple and straightforward. But yeah, we also use VS Code for most of our development. Nothing really crazy there.
Thanks for your time. We built this app to make college life a little less stressful and a lot more organized. We hope you love EdTech.